everybody, how are you? It's Stephanie from Lindy Stitches. It's been so long since I did a whip update and I'm so excited to do one now. I feel like I have to move heaven and earth to get enough peace and quiet to do a video with small children. It's just hard. I've been ready to make a video for about a month and I'm finally here. So I hope you're doing well. I'm glad that you experienced stitchers are going to give me some advice in this video. So be ready for my questions. I have 3 finishes, one whip, which means I'm ready to go shopping, and a little bit of a haul. So I'll start with my 3 finishes, all of which are my patterns, unintentionally. The first is a John Wayne quote. My mom saw this pattern in my Etsy store and said, I want you to stitch that up for me. So here you go. It says, life is hard. It's even harder when you're stupid. Which is so true. The funny thing about this pattern is that while you're working on it, if you make a mistake and you have to frog, you just tell yourself, life is harder when you're stupid. This was my first time working with variegated floss, and I'm kind of embarrassed to admit that because I know a lot of you use it all the time. I just never was super interested in it, and then I started watching Flosstube and I was like, wow, I gotta start using that. I gotta give that a go. So this color is a blue variation by Riotous Colors called School Uniform. I can link her shop down below. It was fun, but wow, you really have to babysit the floss so much more than a normal color. You have to pay attention to so many things that I got slightly OCD. You have to watch where you cut it, you have to watch where you ended, you have to account for how much of a tail you have to, if you're leaving a tail on the back, how much of a tail is going to be taking up the color. It just, I don't know. I know you just gotta lighten up and stitch, but you want it to look right, especially when it's a continuous circle like that and you want the variation to look natural. Like right here. I don't know if you can see this, but I can tell that this is too much aqua right here. Like this should have transitioned and I just, like this is switching the variation. The variegation, it's mirrored right there. Like I can just look at that and see. I can look at this line and tell that there's way too much aqua right here. Like there should be some dark blue down here. Like, okay. Like exercise for the OCD. Use variegated floss and try not to go crazy. Obviously my mom's gonna love it. She's not gonna pick it apart like I do, but okay, so question number 1 for experienced stitchers. The non-color fast thread. Like, it blows my mind that you can finish a project without water. I almost always wash my projects. This one, I really was super duper careful to keep clean, and I don't think it needs washed. But what do y'all do? I mean, I see you using these threads that are not color fast on like large projects, like within the project. So you're obviously working on that project for a long time. It's going through a lot of wear and tear. I don't know, like, how do you wash that? Or how do you clean it? You just don't? Furthermore, the wrinkles, especially with Ada, it's horrible with the wrinkles. Like, how do you iron it flat without steam? Can you give me your secrets on that? Because, you know, I tried ironing this with a dry iron, and I had it between my pressing cloths. I had my iron up as high as it would possibly go, and I'm like putting all my weight onto the iron, trying to get these wrinkles out without steam. Where I know if I just shot it with steam a few times, it would be perfect. How do you clean it? How do you iron it? I feel like I get simple answers to those questions, like, well, I just I just iron it with a dry iron. Like, really? To me, it just doesn't seem like that would work. Anyway, I won't question your advice. Just give it to me down below. The second finish that I have is a Seinfeld quote. Hail to all you Seinfeld fans. Let's be best friends. This is Serenity Now. One of the best episodes, right? Am I right? Anything with George's father is priceless. I really like how this turned out. Super quick stitch that I took on family vacation because you know you need it. I did this in hand. I took the lovely Array's advice and stitched this in hand, and wow, it was, I didn't think it would be such a different stitching experience, but it really was. It really was. I really like how, here's my back. I am not super fanatical about my back, so don't judge. I like how when you have your hand back, you roll it up and you have your hand back here, how you can guide your exactly where your needle's going with these two fingers. However, when you're doing that, you get stabbed a lot, and I was stabbing myself constantly. Not huge stabs, or there would be blood all over my work, but just, you know, stabbing these fingers, which I'm assuming you get better at. But it was really interesting. It was fun. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed that. I was super fanatical about cleaning my hand, washing my hands before I even touched this project because, you know, you're touching it so much more than you would if it was in a hoop or a Q-snap. And I didn't want to get any sort of hand grime on it. Hand grime. One thing I think, and I could be imagining this, and it's quite possible that I am, I think my stitches are a little bit fluffier and taller. Which would make sense, right? Because I'm not stretching the 8 out. So maybe I'm not imagining it. I don't know. How would you even measure that? But my stitches look fluffier, and I'm happy with that. I don't know that I would have the guts to do it with a huge project, but maybe not with Ada. Ada is just, you know, to roll it up and hold it, it's just, I don't know. I've done 2 projects on Ada in a row now, and I'm just sick of the stuff. Okay, so my most exciting finish, it means a lot to me. I'm like looking for it, I don't know where it's at. It is my Bennett family sampler. Now the Bennett family, if you don't know off the top of your head, is the Pride and Prejudice family. Elizabeth Bennet and her 4 sisters, her mom and her dad. I love Pride and Prejudice. I am a big literature junkie. It's one of my favorites. So I wanted to design a Bennett family sampler with all of their little pictures. Now, I really hope that you like Pride and Prejudice and that you've seen the 6-hour movie version. Is it 6? 5 or 6 hour movie version with Colin Firth, which is, I mean, come on. It puts Keira Knightley's version to shame. I based all the portraits off the actors in that movie. So I literally had a picture of the actor in the pose that I wanted him in, or her, and just hand pixelated their portraits. And I'm super happy with how this turned out. I mean, I have done some graphic designing, so graphic design isn't completely new to me. I am new as a cross-stitch designer, and I think this project is pretty darn good. I don't want to toot my own horn, but let me just show it to you. Okay, so here is my Bennett family sampler. I'm sorry, I'm trying to stand exactly right. So the top says Bennett, obviously. This is Longbourn. Let's see if my camera will focus. This is Dad, Mom, Elizabeth, Jane, Mary, Kitty, and bad girl Lydia. Kitty, I worked on her a long time. You know, the whole movie she is kind of put out and she's kind of a dowdy looking girl, and so she gave me some trouble. I am happy with how she turned out. On the bottom it says Longbourn, which is the name of their home, and then MB for Mary Bennett, like she did the sampler, and 1813, which is the year that Pride and Prejudice came out. The border has a lot of black work, and the middle has all of their names. I love this. I love it. I'm proud of it. I can't wait to make it an FFO and get it framed, and the pattern is not listed on my site yet. I want to get photographed and all that first, but super excited. Thank you for sharing my excitement. It just, you know, it took me quite a while. It took me quite a while to design it. It took me quite a while to, I mean, it took me forever to stitch it. But yay! Alright, so those are my finishes. My whip. I'm gonna try not to just totally angst out over this. I really am enjoying this project. If you don't remember what Dance of Bougival looks like, it is Renoir's painting. And I have some questions, so stay tuned. Okay, so I have a page finish. And yay, that is 5,400 stitches. I'll show you how big it is. 100 stitch square is barely the size of my fingertip. I am doing what Milky Bar Kid recommended. I have 25 count Lugana. I'm doing 2/1 10 stitch. Now, I think I just might be overloading myself with new things here. I've never done a full coverage design, never done 10 stitch. What was the other thing I've never done? I never gridded before. It's just a lot of new things, and I'm kind of wishing I would have done something with a full cross. However, I didn't want this to be ginormous, and I didn't want to buy a gigantic piece of fabric. Now, as it is, this is going to be, you know, half the size of my body. So it's still going to be really big, but look at how tiny the stitches are. Here's my finger. They're so small. And so, you know, for example, all these stitches right here under my threads, you know, I started the next page. All this, I mean, that's probably like an hour and a half of work. Maybe all you who do full coverage are like, yep, that's what it was. Like, I know how long it takes. I'm continually adjusting to the mindset of this project because it is so different than a traditional cross-stitch project. It takes forever. It takes forever to feel like you've accomplished something. The page finish was huge for me, and it really did excite me, but I've learned things through this project. Number one, I cannot work on this. I can't force myself to work on it. I just can't, because it gives me an aneurysm. I can force myself to work on smaller projects if I don't feel like it. I can work on this, you know. It doesn't matter what kind of mood I'm in to work on this, or the Bennett family sampler. I can force myself to work on it even when my stitchy bug is gone. Oh no. I need like stitchy bug on heroin to work on this thing. And once I do, like once I feel the need to get it back out again, I can work on it for like a solid week, but then it's like, oh gosh, get this thing out of my sight because it's driving me crazy. So I might finish this in the nursing home. We'll see. So that's that. Oh, okay, here's another question. Here's the question. Now I'm going to show you a page of the pattern. I'll show it to you back here so you can't see it. This I bought from Diana70 on Etsy, and I haven't had any problems in general with the pattern, but this is a pet peeve of mine, and I'm asking you, is this what full coverage patterns are like? Okay, so I don't know if you can see this. The orange is what I've done, but you know, you've got your 10 square columns this way and this way, but what drives me crazy is that there is a column over here on this edge, and there's a column down here on this edge that are not 10 by 10. So there's a 1 stitch column over here, which means the next page will have a 9 stitch column. You know, it's like the edge columns are broken up. That, to me, that is really annoying, because not only do I have a 1 stitch column, but then when I get to the next page, I have to remember that when I'm looking at the graph, I'm looking at a 9 stitch column. It's just, you know, these things are hard enough to see and mark and make sure you're precise without that kind of stuff messing with your brain. Is that how they are, or is this a bad pattern? That's what I want to know. Not bad, but is this bad formatting? What do your Haid patterns look like? I have no idea. Let me know. Okay, haul. Awkward jump cut. Okay, so I was getting to my haul and my camera just, you know, had a day of it and decided to turn off. So anyway, here is my first haul item. It is a sidekick bag from So Much to Love on Etsy. It's a Gryffindor pattern. It's super cute. I just put floss and scissors in it, and if you haven't seen my video review of the bigger So Much to Love project bag, be sure to check that out. Her products are amazing. What else is there to say? Okay, the second item I have is a Lizzie Kate pattern with a bunch of bacon items. My mom gave me this, I think in the hopes that I would stitch something for her, but there's 4? Yeah, there's 4 patterns, and a couple of them I think I would actually stitch. I like the one that says friends are the bacon bits in the salad of life. I think it's funny. Is it supposed to be funny, or is it supposed to be serious? I have 2 new cute little pairs of scissors. Look, if you've been on Instagram and you've seen other stitchers that have really cute scissors, and you think to yourself, yeah, that would be nice, but I don't really need another pair of scissors, and I don't really want to spend $20 on a new pair of scissors, get yourself on eBay. That's all I need to say. Get on eBay. I got these. I think they came from Hong Kong. These are my favorite pair, and they have a really small, like, is this the shaft? I don't know. They have a really small blade, but I actually like that about them. I've been using these a lot. And they cut thread. I mean, that's all they're supposed to do, right? And here's the other pair I picked out. Although they had like 7 different options, so it was really hard to pick. But these are cute too, but they're longer. Have not been using those as much. The last thing I got is a piece of, why am I singing? Is a piece of Edinburgh linen silk weaver. This color is Jubilation. It's 36 count. I was planning on using this for the Brooks Books Stitch Along in the Cross Stitch and Discuss. Oh my gosh, how many words? The Brooks Books Stitch Along on the Cross Stitch and Discuss group on Facebook. I really wanted to do that, but I'm taking a hiatus from Facebook, so I don't think I'm going to do the Stitch Along. On top of which, I measured the whole design out, and I thought this would be big enough, and it's just not giving me a big enough margin of error. I think it's like 2 inches on the horizontal sides, and that's just not big enough for me. That will drive me crazy. I need at least 3.5, 4 inches on the sides when I'm doing a big design. I just do. And on top of that, I've never done 36 count. I've never even looked at 36 count, like really looked at it with the intention of working with it. I keep looking at this piece of fabric and just looking at it and imagining stitching on it is hurting my brain. I mean, look at me, I'm doing the bifocal thing, like, I can't even see it. It's so tiny. Do any of you actually regularly work on 36 count? This It's so tiny. Maybe I'll actually wait till I have bifocals. Will that make it better? No. I can hardly see. I can see the holes, but trying to find the right hole. Okay. I'm gonna end this video. I'm getting slap happy. Are you on me? With me? Are you on me? Oh my gosh. Are you with me on Instagram? I'm so sorry. Are you with me on Instagram? Because I really love Instagram and I really love looking at your pictures, and the cross stitchers on Instagram are amazing. I'm on there at Lindy Stitches. Also, my store is at lindystitches.com. If you want to see any of my designs, that would be great. You guys are the best. Thank you for hanging with me for this video, and happy stitching. Bye.